Welcome to Health Students Watching. From where we left off in our previous lesson, we finished reading through page 88. But let's talk about together some of the things at the bottom of page 88. Think about it, read, and discuss. Levi had a chance to win the game. There was a runner on third base, and all Levi had to do was hit the ball far enough to let the runner come home. Levi struck out and his team lost. Josh wanted to encourage his friend. What could Josh do to encourage Levi? Tell me something he could say, students watching. Carson.
Nice try.
Good. Nice try. That would be a good thing to say to encourage him. What else could he do with actions, Jacob? Help him. Maybe he could give him a high five or a pat on the back to encourage him. You tried, and it's okay because they won and they lost as a team. What could Levi do to encourage himself? So there are some things that Levi could do to not get too upset. What is something, Emily?
Congratulate the other team.
Yes, congratulate the other team and tell them that they played well, and so that was a good way that they could win that game. How might this help Levi if he were in a similar situation in the future? Dev? Is he probably going to have tough things happen again?
Yes.
Yes. Will it be easier to handle it next time?
Yes.
Yes. If you get into the habit of handling those tough situations well, the more you make the right choices, the more easy it will become in the future. How would it help him become a better friend? Students watching. Will others want to be around him, Presley?
Yes.
Yes. If he's not grumpy and upset with himself, if he's not grumpy and upset with others, others are going to enjoy playing on his team. They'll want to be around him because he's a good teammate and a good friend. Now, as we pick up reading in our lesson today, we're going to pick up on page 89. Page 89, let's talk about some other things that we can do that are showing that we are healthy, not just with our bodies physically, but also spiritually and socially with others. Read our next word for us, cadence.
Courtesy.
Yes, so our readers come to be ready to read, and courtesy is showing kindness to others, being kind and polite. Jacob.
Charity.
Yes, charity is the Bible word for love. That is also referring to loving others God's way. Morgan?
Responsibility.
Right, responsibility are those things that we have that we need to accomplish and do. So let's find out more about how we can love others. Starting on page 89, we're starting with our terms to remember. Tyra, come.
Terms to remember. Courtesy. Courtesy. Being polite and loving to others. Charity. Love.
Good. Aiden, begin.
Loving others. Loving others shows that you are growing socially. When you care about someone, it shows in what you say and how you act. Are you curious? Courteous to others. Courteous is being polite and loving to others every day. It should be a part of who you are.
And the Bible says, Emily.
Love one another as I have loved you, John 15:12.
Well done. So why should we be courteous to others? Students watching? Morgan.
Because however you treat somebody else is kind of like how you're treating God.
Yes, you're doing it as unto the Lord. So you want to treat others the right way because that's showing a way that you can serve others is serving God. What are you showing when you are being polite and loving to others? Students watching? Madison.
You're showing that you love God.
You are, and that's being courteous. So you are showing that you love God and you are being courteous. How can you show courtesy to others today? Give me an example, students watching. Morgan.
Right when somebody falls, you help them.
You help them up, right? Don't just keep on walking. You can stop and help them. How else can you be polite and kind? Jackson? What if someone wants to walk in a certain place? Do you try to push in front of them?
No.
No, you could let them pass or take that spot. Give me another example, Dev.
Writing kindly letters to others?
You could write something to encourage them. If someone else wants to play with something, you could share that area or that toy with them. You can share with others. Those are ways that you could be kind and polite, being courteous to others. Let's continue reading more about how we can show love to our family. Continue reading for us, Anna.
Showing love to your family. Do you show love to others by the things you do and the things you say? Or do you think about yourself first? Here are some good verses for you to memorize. Charity suffers long and is kind. Charity envies not. Charity vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up, does not behave itself unseemingly, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked, thinketh no evil. 1 Corinthians 13:4-5.
Well done. Now, 1 Corinthians 13 is oftentimes called the love chapter in the Bible, and it shows us and tells us specific ways and examples that we can be loving and kind to others. Now, Josh, wouldn't it be sad if you're loving and kind to all your friends at school, or the people you ride the bus with, or the people that are on your soccer team or your basketball and your baseball team, but then your family members who love you the most, you are rude and unkind to? That is not a good thing. So you want to make sure that just as you want to be loving and kind to your friends and those you see at school and at your games and your other fun activities, you want to be just as kind and even more so to your family members. They love you a lot, your mom and dad and your brothers and sisters. So it's very important to be kind, to be courteous and polite to your family members as well. Let's read about some examples from the Bible about how we can do that. Continue reading for us, Jimmy.
The word charity means love. Read those verses again, and each time you come to the word charity, say the word love instead. Who can you show love to today?
Good expression. Now, before we answer that question, Carson, read our verses again for us, 1 Corinthians, but this time say, love suffereth long.
Love suffereth long, and is kind. Love envieth not. Envieth not. Love vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up, do not behave itself unseemly, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked, thinketh no evil. 1 Corinthians 13:4-5.
Well done. So what is another word for charity, students watching? Adriana.
Love.
Good. So now let's think, how can we show love to others? First of all, who should we be showing love to, students watching? And Deb?
Our family.
Yes, our family first, and then our friends and the others we meet throughout our day. How can we make our home, the place we live with our family, a pleasant place? Give me an example, students watching. Emily?
Not fighting.
Right. Avoid those situations. You know if your brother or sister has had a challenging day or something upsetting has happened, so you can make sure that you're encouraging them rather than adding to that problem. So avoid fighting, avoid arguing. That's a good way to make your home loving and a pleasant place to be. Let's read more about how we can show kindness to others. Continue, Jackson.
If you are truly courageous, courteous, you will show kindness to those who you are close to. Within a family, it is important to say, I love you. You show love through your actions. You will cheerfully do or say whatever you can to make your home a pleasant place to live. How do you treat your brother and sister? Are you patient and loving?
Good expression, pause. So saying I love you to your family members is a good thing. Making sure that you're cheerful when you're obeying makes your home a happy place. Let's find out more about how we should be following directions given to us by our parents or authority. Continue, Amaya.
When you are asked to help with the dishes, watch the baby, or clean your room, do you complain? If you obey properly with cheerfulness, you are showing your mother and father that you love them. If you obey, but you are grumbly and grumble and complain, you are not showing love. You are being selfish.
Good expression. Now let's pause. So it's good to say kind things to others. It's good to say I love you to your family, but not just saying it with words. We then need to put it into action. So what are 2 ways that you should obey when you are asked to help at home? Students watching. Emily.
Say yes, ma'am, or yes, sir, and do it right away.
Do it right away. So promptly, not later, not after you finish your favorite part of your book or after you finish your game, but promptly. And should you do it very grumpily, Morgan?
No, you should do it. You should do it nicely.
Nicely, cheerfully. So you want to make sure that you're obeying cheerfully and promptly. That's the way to obey. Not with a bad attitude, but with a good attitude and right away. Now let's read about some things that we can do to be helpful. Continue reading for us, Jacob.
The new things you learn provide work for your mind, but you also need work for your body to do. Regular work that you can do helps you physically, but it is important for your mental health too. It gives you the good feeling that comes
be doing. So go ahead and list a couple here. If you don't do some of those, you can add to that list and add a couple more of those items so that you can continue being responsible with completing those chores. Go ahead and put your pencil down. Let's continue on the next page talking more about how to complete those responsibilities. Continue, Kaden.
When you start a job, do you always finish it? You will always have a feeling of accomplishment when your work is completed. Even if the work is hard, you should keep on trying until you are finished.
Good smoothness. Presley.
Whenever you are given a new responsibility, watch carefully when you are shown what to do, or listen carefully if you are told what to do. This will help you do your work right without having to try again. You should always do your best in any responsibility that is given to you.
Very smooth. So let's pause. Starting a job is great, but finishing it is better. So make sure that you finish that job. Then, did you finish it just quickly to check it off your list, or did you finish it thoroughly? Did you finish it well? So making sure you complete that job to the best of your ability is the best way to do that responsibility. You should keep track of the responsibilities you're given so you can make sure you're staying on track and completing those. Sometimes you might need a little chart or a checklist to help you. There you can see Heath, our bee friend there, responsibilities. Read the Bible, cleaning his room, taking out the trash, doing his homework, and exercising, making sure he's staying nice and healthy. He has a check mark there for each of those things he completes. That's a good way to stay on task so you don't lose one of those responsibilities or accidentally forget. Read our Bible verse for us, Deb.
And whatsoever ye do, do it heartily, as to the Lord, and not unto men. Colossians 3:23.
Right. So when we're doing things, who are we ultimately doing those things for? Students watching. Jacob.
The Lord.
Yes, it's great to please mom and dad or teachers and other authority, but we are doing these responsibilities as unto the Lord. So that's why we need to make sure that we do it heartily. That means with all of our effort, all of our might, and to the very best of our ability. Now let's take a look at the table setting there at the bottom. This is a good thing that you can be helping your family to do, is to prepare the meal. So one thing you can do is set the table. Have you ever helped with setting the table? This is a place that you can place each of these items. So maybe you've helped set the table for dinner. Do you know the proper place for each place? Point to the plate. So the plate there goes in the middle. Now look at the right side. Tell me something you see on the right of the plate. Students watching. Carly.
Knife.
Yes, the knife, and the sharp point is pointed in towards the plate. Give me something besides the knife, Tyra.
The cup.
Okay, the cup is at the top. Well done. Give me something else, Adriana.
The spoon.
The spoon. So you have your knife with the sharper point pointing in towards the plate, the spoon beside it, and the cup at the top above the spoon and close to the knife. Now go to the left side of the plate. Tell me something you see on the left, students watching. Carson.
The fork and the fork and the napkin.
Yes, the fork and the napkin. Notice the napkin is folded neatly there to the side, and then the fork is placed on top. So this is the proper place setting. So now you know how to set the table. You know how to set the places at the table. So you can volunteer to help mom or dad. Can I help set the table? And now you know where everything is located. If you did before, keep it up. Stay faithful in completing those responsibilities. Go ahead and put your book to the side. We're going to talk about another activity. At this time, we're going to talk about making a card. You'll use a sheet of construction paper, and you can make a special card specifically for somebody in your family. So think about maybe a mom or dad, a brother, sister, aunt or uncle, grandma or grandpa, and you can use several sentences inside of your card to tell them why you're thankful for them and why you appreciate that person. You could write on the outside a special decoration, maybe something you know they love, and then write several sentences on the inside of your card, sign your name, and you can include a fun picture with that card as well. At this time, you may begin completing that thank you card.